Okay, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about one of Final Cut Pro's very powerful features, and that's called roles. Now, what is a role? Well, let me import some media here. In this folder I've got some sound effects, some video and some music. Now down here in the bottom right of the import window you have assign audio role, and you can choose to assign roles automatically, or you can choose the roles that you want to assign to the media. I'm going to leave it on automatically and I'm going to leave in place. I'm just going to import all and we'll see what it makes of this media. Okay, so I've got it on thumbnail view here and you can see it's imported the media. So how do we assign roles? Let's go actually to the column view and let's go over there and let's shut down the inspector. Let's make this window a little bigger. And let's go over here, bring the video role and the audio role a little closer. So as we can see here, these are actually effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reassign the role here, and you can click it here if you want to, and you can go to effects, or you can right click on the clip, go to assign audio roles and assign effects. And as you can see here with these music tracks, we can see that they've correctly identified those as music. And as we can see here, this video doesn't have any audio on it. So if you right click on this, you can see it just has a video role, video, and no audio role. So those are roles. And if you want to have slightly more complicated roles, what you could do is you can modify it and go to edit roles. And here you can create as many roles as you like. So let's say I want to create a different audio role, and I want to create one called library music, and because that music I've got is a library music. And so I can go apply, and then I can go back to my music here, and I can right click audio and go to and make it library music instead. Now there's another thing called subroles. Oh, by the way, if you want to change the color of a role, you can click here and choose any one of these colors. It's rather a limited palette, but there we go. So I want to have a sub role. So I've got my main role is music or library music, and I want to create a sub role, and I want to call this sub role art list, because that's the name of the music library that those tracks are from. So again, I go here, and then I right click, assign role, and I want to have it as art list. So it still has its music role, but it's got a sub role of art list. So let's do the same for the effects. I think these are from Boom library, I think. I'll call these Boom. And we apply that. And then again, click on all of them, right click, assign role, and Boom library. So there we go. We've got roles and we've got sub roles, and also you can have extra video roles. So in sub roles, say subtitles, I could create one that's English. I could create another one that's, I don't know, Chinese, etc., etc., and you can apply them. And then when you have a really complicated project, you can use it very powerfully to arrange and organize your timeline, both not only for your working and editing, but also for exporting, and I'll do videos about that later. So here we are in a rather more complicated developed project. This is for a commercial, and as you can see, it's a rather more developed cut. And as you can see by all the colors that I've assigned lots of different roles to lots of different elements. So as you can see here, there's quite a lot to manage within the space in the project. If I make this a bit smaller, and you can see here, so when you're using this as a workspace, there's lots of different ways you can view your media. And if you go over to your timeline settings here, as you can see, you can zoom in and out here, and you can also choose the sort of lozenge view. That makes it really small, that makes it really big, and you can choose these different ones that either compromise video for audio. This is sort of a halfway house, and then we've got smaller videos, bigger audio, and then one here that's just audio only. And again, you can make them bigger or smaller. And as you can see here, if I zoom in here to this particular clip, Let me go back to my settings. You can see the clip rolls are activated. If I turn that off, you just see the slate number, and then if I turn clip rolls back on, you can see the rolls. And in a previous video I showed you what happened when you import multi-channel WAV files. So if I go to the inspector and click on this piece of audio, you can see here that these sub-roles have been added to the dialogue. Mix left, mix right, boom, lav 1 and lav 2, and I've turned lav 1 off. So, and I can turn these on and off as I like. I can just make it the boom if I want to. I can just have the lav mic if I want to. Or I can have them all on, and you can turn them on and off as much as you like, depending on what you want. Now there's another way of viewing roles. I'm going to make this small again, and so we've got some space, and I'm going to make this a bit smaller by sliding this a bit tinier here. Now, as you can see, Final Cut Pro uses the magnetic timeline. So for this effect, you can see that it's jumped up as high as it can go in the project because there isn't any dialogue taking precedence. So this effect is below the dialogue. This piece of retime dialogue is below, and the music is below, the while track is below, and the Atmos track is below. So if we go to the timeline index and we go to the roles section, you can see here that all our roles are available and visible here. So what we can do, let's say you're mixing and you want to mix the music. Well, you can make that easy for yourself by just moving the music to the highest point, and then the music will move up there. So there you could work on the music if you wanted to. And let's say you wanted to make the music track a bit bigger. If we make all of them bigger, that hides a lot of the media in the project. So what we can do, we can just press the focus button, and that shrinks everything else down apart from the music. So now we can work on the music, mix the music. And these buttons here are very interesting. So again, if we go to the music, we click that one, that moves the music into its lane. So this is the music lane, almost like a track-based editor. So if we and actually down here you can see show audio lanes. I'll click that first actually, and you can see now, once I make this a bit smaller, that all of the audio has been arranged into its own lane. See, all the dialogue is in this dialogue lane, all the effects are in this effects lane. None of the effects are going up higher, they're all staying in their own lane. We've got this retime dialogue here, that's in its own lane, the voiceover, and we've got the wild track and the office ambience. And again, if we want to, we can move these around and have this higher up. These are all movable and customizable however you want it. So I'm going to put the music back at the top. So that shows everything in its own lane. So if we turn off, and this is what it would look like if it was in, say, a conventional track-based editor. So let's for a second hide audio lanes. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to just have the, I'm going to put the dialogue back at the top actually, and I'm going to click this one, and that's just the dialogue in its own lane, okay? Then I'm going to click this one, and this is going to show us the sub-roles. So if I click that, now we can see all of the dialogue tracks, all of those separate multi-channel WAV files, all the ones that are hidden in that dialogue. As you can see, they're much easier to manage the way Final Cut Pro does it, all tucked away nicely. But if it was a track-based editor, then you'd be looking at this. So this is all that dialogue, all those dialogue tracks are there, hidden away. And you can work on those if you want to. And again, as I've said before, you can just click this one, which is the focus button. It just shows you the dialogue. And again, if you want to, you can work on the separate lanes. And as you can see here with these controls, I can turn off the boom mics and any lav mic, or turn off the mix and just have the lav and the boom. And as you can see, that's applying to all of the clips. It's not just applying to individual clips. Again, if you wanted to do it to individual clips, you'd have to do that in the inspector. Let me just show you what happens when I do this. So as you can see here, if I click on this shot, I turn the boom off, that just disappears. As does the mix, left and right, that's gone. And I'm just left with lav 2. And then again, it's not destructive. I can get it back anytime I like. And again here, if you look, I can rearrange the priority of these sub-roles. I can put the mix at the top, mix left. I can have mix right. Then I can have maybe the boom at the bottom. Lav 2 doesn't get used much. I can put that there. so I can arrange it any way I like. It's really, really, really capable. I'm going to turn those all off. Again, with the video, I can turn off this Alex 4D widescreen matte. That's the purple one. That gives me full frame. I can turn off the video if I want to. And so there we go. That is a very quick tour of roles in Final Cut Pro, and I think it's one of the most powerful features it has, and it really marks it out as an excellent editing tool. And it really comes in handy when you want to do versioning, and also when you want to export your audio to a dubbing mixer, and I'll be showing you those in future videos. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Follow me on social media, and also see in the description for a link to buy me a coffee, but preferably tea, 2 sugars. Thank you.